Well, last time we played at TIP was in playoffs. That series meant a lot for us because it meant that we don't have to use settle for fourth.
Team Liquid breaks the curse.
그래도 저번 풀리그 때는 1대1이었기 때문에 이번에도 저희가 이길 가능성이 있다고 생각하고
We ended up winning that series. It was very close though. I expect a really close game. I'm looking forward to some really good duels against Impact. He knows most matchups really, really well.
제가 좀 더 잘할 수 있다는 생각 들고
We've gotten a lot better, and we're still progressing as a team. So I think our roster is really strong right now, and it's only going to get better.
리퀴드를 이기면 더 좋은 모습을 보여주지 않을까 생각해서
Welcome to our continuing coverage of Week 3 of the North American League Championship Series. As we're live from our studios here in Los Angeles, as you see just a moment ago, Team 8 hanging out in the player lounge with their coach history teacher. Just a short time ago, they'll be taking to the Rift against Cloud9 as we see Incarnation and the coaching staff heading to the stage for our first game of the day. Definitely going to be a team effort for them as they look for a win to shorten up their longest losing streak as an organization. Now, hello, everyone. I'm James Dash Patterson. It's great to have you with us as we prepare for another full day of summer split action. To help us break down our first three matches, we've got Aiden Zyrene Moon, Sam Kobe Hartman Kensler, and David Freak Turley. And gentlemen, we have to jump in immediately into one of our biggest upsets of the day yesterday, Dignitas versus TSM.
Yeah, I think Dignitas has shown a lot of improvement as a team and an organization because this is Dignitas having 4 wins in a row, something they haven't done since spring 2014. It's been a year and a half since Dignitas has accomplished this. And a lot of that is due to they went in with Rico behind them. Knowing their win conditions, they came in with a game plan and they knew what to do near the mid and the end of the game. And the capitalization that they had was a really good mark of improvement for Dignitas. So I think this is a team that, I don't know if they're contender for first place, but they're definitely a contender for playoffs and top 3.
I think top 3 is lofty. I think they're definitely going to be a playoff team in this shape right now, and the rate of their growth definitely has them going upwards. So it'll be good to see the rest of Dignitas this split.
Yeah, as far as the improvements, I think the decisiveness was one of the biggest things. They were able to make plays on Baron, and they were able to make the play to win the game after they got their one pick. I don't know if that's an effect of Helios or what, but they are, the shot calling got a lot more decisive.
All right, well, fans looking to read more on Team Dignitas should check out the Shifter interview on LOLesports.com titled, I Feel We Can Win Every Game. But now I want to talk about Team Impulse. Now, they had a commanding win yesterday and are just one game behind Team Liquid, setting the two teams on a collision course for our game of the week today.
And I'm actually very interested in Team Impulse's growth over this split so far. Right now, I think they actually deserve to be in that contenders box that we talked about yesterday. I think they're definitely top 6, probably significantly better than that. And the thing is, even though they're only 3-2 right now, well, that's tied with TSM. They're pretty good, obviously. And the schedule's been really difficult for TIP in the first place. Their losses are to TSM and CLG, which most people consider the top 2 teams in the league in the first place. So, oh no, they lost to the top 2 teams. They're only the 3rd best team in North America, whatever. Honestly, we saw them play yesterday. They had the most dominant win we have seen in, it was 2013, the last time we had a perfect game in North America, and they only gave up 1 dragon. So this is one of the most dominant performances we've ever seen from these guys.
And that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy watching Team Impulse. It's good to have them in the league because they demonstrate the advantages that you can gain from a quicker paced game. And that's something that a lot of other North American teams, they've kind of lost sight of. And, no North American LCS team right now is above reproach. They all have things to improve on. But I'm glad that Team Impulse are here and they're keeping the rest of the teams honest.
Yeah, I absolutely love that because other teams are going up against them saying, these are our glaring weaknesses against this type of composition and this type of play style. So it improves the league as a whole when you have that type of diversity. And they're up against Team Liquid today. And Team Liquid needs to get a read on Impulse. Dom talked about the guy named Warlock, who they added.
The Warlock.
So ominous.
Warlock.
The Warlock. He cast some magic on their champion select. Because this guy, apparently he's writing down what they play and player tendencies, which apparently helps Dom with his jungle routes. But how do you get a read on something that's so random? Because when we look at Team Impulse, we're always like, what are they doing? We don't even know if they know what they're doing. So is the tendency just to be random? Like, how do you get a read on this team?
Thing is,
that's going to be huge today.
The individual plays of Team Impulse seem like they come at sporadic times and are a little bit random, but the team itself is really predictable in the way that they're going to play the game.
Yeah, absolutely agreed there. And while we're on the topic of top teams, you mentioned CLG. There were a lot of fans who were hoping to see if CLG could shake off the TSM hangover. And yesterday, the answer was a resounding yes. CLG turned in a decisive win against Gravity.
Once again, great start to the season for CLG. I have to say, though, their solo lanes look better than ever.
Yeah.
And as far as the whole thing of starting off the season great and then falling off later, I think that this new coach that they brought in, Coach Chris Blurred Limes, the most important thing he's bringing to the table for the guys is the work ethic that he's been able to instill. Just from the videos that I've been seeing, the interviews that we've seen from them, should be a good improvement for them down the stretch.
Yeah, definitely agree. I have nothing but really good things to say about Counter Logic Gaming, and every split looks like this where they start really strong and they fall off. And last split, it was attributed to the fact that other teams were improving faster than CLG. CLG wasn't strictly getting worse, but other teams got a whole lot better. This time around, it looks like CLG has that upward trajectory, and it's not going to, they're not affected by gravity in this trajectory.
Hopefully their trajectory is better than Smithy's Gragas Ultimates were yesterday.
Well, but as we saw yesterday, they really weren't affected by gravity.
Exactly. Yes. So we'll see if that trend can continue. Hopefully they avoid plateauing. But let's pull up the standings to see how things are shaping up. In first place, we do have CLG, Team Dignitas, and Liquid. One game back and forth is Gravity, Impulse, and Team Solo Mid. Enemy Esports starts the day in 7th, followed by Cloud9 and Team 8 in 8th place. Then in last, it's TDK. Now, as we switch to today's schedule, we're starting our day with Cloud9 versus Team 8. Following that, TSM will face off against Team Dragon Knights. A little later, Team Dignitas will look to extend their winning streak when they go toe-to-toe with Gravity. Then closing out the day, it's CLG versus Enemy Esports. Now, smack dab in the middle of the day is our game of the week, Team Impulse and Team Liquid. A lot to watch out for in that match as Team Liquid will try to fend off Xiaowei Zhao and company to keep a hold of their first place position. And the clash of the top lane Titans with Quas versus Impact should be worth the price of admission alone. Well, there comes a moment in every professional's career when one bad decision can rock them to their core. For top laners in North America, there's one common mistake that many are guilty of, and it keeps them up at night.
Dear God, why? Why did I think it'd be a good idea to give Balls Rumble again?
He's ready to roll it out across the whole team. They're forced to flash, but they are still getting melted.
I just question every decision I've ever made in life. He just lands so many good equalizers.
Throws down the equalizer on a Dyrus, and he's right there. That is how you rumble.
I imagine they think like, oh, it's okay. He's got Rumble. He hasn't played in a while. But like after the game, we're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have given him Rumble.
That's the start of the fight. Zion Spartan's gonna get burned up, but so is Meteos.
That is probably the worst decision I've ever made in my life twice. So I definitely am not going to make that decision a third time.
Balls is one scary Rumble. He can outplay you massively 2v1 situations.
Now Impaler takes the hit. That's gonna be double bust over to top lane.
Every time I win on Rumble, I'm just satisfied that I'm able to get another win on my favorite champion. It's just a good feeling.
Balls' Rumble is the pinnacle of all Rumbles. Giving Rumble to him was definitely a mistake.
They're gonna wipe down Team Solo Mid here. Bjergsen very low, can only do a few things from the outside.
When you've mastered a champion that well, it's just scary.
Every time I pick Rumble, I don't even think about my win streak. It just happens that I just win every time.
I think it's like an extra advantage for the teams against Cloud9 because the top laner themselves are the ones banning to be like, no, I've played against this before. I'm clicking the champion anyway.
It's like, I made the mistake once, not good. 2 times, okay, not good.
I'm in control now, coach or not. I'm the one clicking the mouse. So
Third ban Callista. It's like, why'd you ban Rumble? I don't
know, man. Misclick.
Well, we'll have to see in our first game of the day whether or not Rumble makes it through that ban phase. Let's throw it over to our casters to get us onto the Rift.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Hello, everyone. I am